Okay, this is overview of course part 2, and I just want to, let me set the levels a little bit. They're just a little bit loud, I think still. Okay. And I want to talk more about the syllabus, the course site, and Blackboard. So let's just talk about the course site. The course site, as I've gone over already, general information about the syllabus and so forth. We've done that, but let's talk about what the course site does. The course site is where all of the course materials are delivered. So I do videos, I do PowerPoints, there are quote-unquote handouts, there are homework assignments. Sometimes they're posted to the web as HTML, sometimes they're just a Word document. There's going to be various text files for you to download. And then there are links that go into Blackboard to do something. So for example, we have a practice quiz here to familiarize you with Blackboard, and it has a due date, and then here's the link. And pardon me, if you click on the link, it'll take you to tests. Again, we're in professor view, and I'll go into student view, and I have not released it yet, but that practice test will be here. And so that's how you would get to it, and that's how you know that you have and I apologize, the syllabus is not linked there, so let's go back. There we go. Go back to the course site. So for each unit, we'll have readings, there'll be videos, there'll be a presentation that's usually a PowerPoint that goes with one of the videos. Some of the videos, in this case, like we're doing an overview of the course, there is no presentation with it. We're just looking at the website. But if I'm doing a new technology, so for example, you're going to get introduced to XML, you're going to not only see a video of me talking over the PowerPoint about XML, but you're going to be able to download the PowerPoint if you want. And basically the idea is that way you can refer to it, and you don't need to be dependent on YouTube or scrubbing through the video to look for where I said something about some technology or whatever. These videos, if there is any kind of order to them, they're presented in sequential order. So if you should watch bullet 1, that's put at the top. If you should watch this one, and so part 1 would be first, then part 2, and then what I consider like the for unit 1, the introduction to XML. So if we click on this, we're going to go, and you're going to get to see the full video. It's kind of crazy, but we're watching a video of me.
Hello, my name is Mark Wolf. I'll be the instructor for.
But you're going to watch that, and that's essentially just sort of a soft opening to the course, getting to know who I am, looking at my face. So that's how the videos are run. Normally each unit will have an activity. I've got a Word document that you'll download and show you how to install Notepad++ and make sure you have the XML tools that go with it. And then there'll be a little practice test for Blackboard. And then we have a little exercise on how to get to know your classmates. And that is pretty self-explanatory, but you click on here, and this will show you what to do, and then there's a link on where to post this information. So each unit, you're going to have, again, readings. The videos I have, sometimes I'm creating those on the fly, sometimes they're already created, but I usually don't release those until I quote-unquote release that unit. I think it really helps us keep on track, and it keeps me on track for teaching the course, so we're not sort of figure skating all over the spring semester. We can kind of stay in lockstep as much as we can, and that way I think it just makes for a stronger, more energy-filled course if everyone's doing the same thing at the same time. We have homeworks that are due, and normally the unit before, I usually only give you 1 week to do a homework. Sometimes it's 2 weeks, but if it's 1 week, then it's the week before. If it's 2 weeks, it might be 2 weeks before the homework is due. That I will basically give you what's called a homework video, and that's just me in video form going over the assignment, showing sort of where the pitfalls are and how to basically how to approach the assignment. And then if I click on this, it's a dead link, but this will show you the actual homework assignment. And as you see, I think it'll go away if I go down the corner, but if you look in the left-hand corner, you can see it links to an HTML page that says HW1, and essentially it's very similar to our Get to Know Your Classmates assignment or exercise, and it usually looks something like this. Sometimes I do it in a Word document, it just depends, but that's where you'll get that information. So again, you know, each week here we have readings, then you'll have videos. You may have a presentation that goes with that video. You may not, like I said, sometimes. And then sometimes I'll be using code snippets, and I don't put code in presentations unless it's just really like little things, because until you get in the course you might not understand why, or unless you've done programming before. But when you're using essentially ASCII text, it just works better in a Word document or in a text file. In this one there's a lot of notes linked off there, so that's why I used a Word document instead of PowerPoint. And then sometimes to my site here, again, if you look in the left hand corner, you can see that I've got a folder of examples that I use in the presentation, that sort of thing. And then so each unit we move on, and pretty much I only do a PowerPoint unless only when I'm presenting on a new topic. So we do document type definitions, DDTs, DTDs. I will do a PowerPoint for that, but if it's a continuation of us talking about it, like this week, I may not do a PowerPoint presentation. You can see homeworks and more homeworks, and then we'll have spring break and a test. So that's pretty much the format for the course. I try to, and I'll remind you of this, but for each homework I assign, normally you have an exercise that supports that homework one way or another. Sometimes if we're lucky, if you're lucky in that, you know, the exercise that you do essentially just turns into a homework and you just build off of that. Or sometimes the exercise might be the same technology and all the sort of skills there that you need to do the homework are there, but you need to essentially apply them in a different way, just to keep it interesting. So the exercises are often, in my opinion, very meaningful. They lead into a homework assignment, or eventually and sorry for the scrolling, to the final project. And usually the final project, and I have it up here as a group project, so it looks like it will be a group project. I make a group project. I like it to be each individual's own work, but you are able to help each other out and be collaborative when we do this assignment. And we'll talk more about that when we get to it. The dates and little details of the schedule are subject to change. We have snowstorms, and while this is an online course and snowstorms shouldn't affect things, life happens, and so I try to make the course sort of a living thing, and that if we need to make a little change here, or as I said, if the proverbial life happens to all of us at once, then we need to be able to respond, and that's why I put that little note in there. But that's pretty much it for the overview of the course. I urge you, if you have any questions, you're going to get Unit 1 really soon, and you're going to be watching this video, obviously, to ask a question, and it really helps if you post it here. Again, if it's something personal, feel free to email me. I'm on email all the time. But for this course, I'll be on Blackboard. Wow. Checking Blackboard almost as much, and so as soon as I get the question, especially if asked the question, because I have all those posts rerouted to my email anyways, I respond to them as quick as I can. And if there's always a chance that if I'm a little slow that day, one of your classmates will beat you to it. So that's that. I really think it'll be a fun course for you. In general, it seems like if it's your first course in computer technology, most people enjoy it and get success out of it. If you've done HTML before, this is a little bit different. Some of you, it will give you a little bit of a leg up, but also XML is a lot different from HTML, so there will be a few maybe pitfalls there, here and there, for people who have already done some HTML. But again, welcome to IST 538, and I'll see you in the next video.